You really think you can talk to me like that?
Officer, you might want to think twice about who you're talking to.
Yeah? And who exactly am I talking to?
I'm the new police chief.
The scene was shocking. A busy city street filled with people going about their day, when suddenly, a police officer swung his fist and punched a black woman square in the face. The crowd gasped. Phones flew out. But what happened next left everyone completely stunned. Minutes later, the same woman stood tall, composed, and calmly told the police officer and everyone watching, "I'm the new police chief." Before I continue, I want to ask you, where are you watching from right now? Drop your city or country in the comments. And if you want to stay glued to the full story, make sure to hit that subscribe button. This is one story you do not want to miss. It all started on a sunny afternoon in the heart of the city. People were walking, cars were honking, and the city seemed normal until the confrontation began. The woman, dressed in professional attire, was approaching the scene where a small argument had broken out between bystanders. No one expected it to escalate, but suddenly the officer, tense and agitated, raised his hand and delivered a forceful punch. The street froze. Witnesses described the moment as if time itself had stopped. The woman stumbled backward, clutching her cheek. Blood trickled down, and her eyes showed shock, but also something else. Focus. Instead of retaliating or panicking, she took a deep breath, straightened herself, and calmly said, "I am the new police chief." Murmurs spread through the crowd. People couldn't believe it. Some were cheering. Others were stunned into silence. What made this moment even more jaw-dropping was the officer's reaction. He froze, his face turning pale as he realized who she was. The woman didn't raise her voice, didn't shout, and didn't even flinch again. She looked at him with a quiet authority that immediately commanded respect. The tension in the air was electric. The story didn't start there, though. This woman had a long history in law enforcement, rising through the ranks quietly but powerfully. Many people in the department didn't expect her to make it to the top. She had faced skepticism, bias, and outright dismissal throughout her career. Yet, she persisted, focusing on her training, her community work, and her leadership skills. No one thought she would ever step into the chief's office, let alone make such a dramatic entrance in public like this. Witnesses said the entire scene felt surreal. People were recording videos, unsure whether to intervene or just watch history unfold. And while everyone's attention was on the punch and the initial shock, the bigger story was the woman's response. She didn't scream or argue. She didn't seek revenge. She simply showed strength and authority, proving that power isn't about fists. It's about presence, preparation, and courage. Even the media couldn't believe it. News crews rushed to the scene, capturing every angle. By the time she walked away from the confrontation, the video had already gone viral online. Social media exploded with reactions ranging from disbelief to admiration. The hashtag new chief went viral within hours. People debated the incident, analyzing every frame, wondering how someone could get punched in public and still command the respect of everyone around them moments later. Behind the viral moment was a story few knew. The woman had been working on reforms in the police department for years. She had a reputation for fairness, accountability, and innovation. Communities that had historically distrusted the police were beginning to see her as a bridge, a leader who could change the system from the inside. The punch, while shocking, unintentionally highlighted exactly why she had been chosen as chief. It was a test of composure, and she passed in a way that would be remembered for decades. Even city officials were caught off guard. Many were waiting for her to respond angrily, to escalate the situation. Instead, her calm demeanor forced the department to reflect on its own culture and protocols. The officer involved faced immediate internal investigation, but public focus remained on the woman and her unshakable presence. Every detail of that day became part of a larger narrative about courage and leadership. People couldn't stop replaying the moment, the punch, the pause, the declaration. It was as if the universe had set the stage to announce her authority in the most dramatic way possible. After that unforgettable moment, the city was buzzing. News stations scrambled to interview witnesses, police officials held emergency meetings, and social media exploded. Everyone wanted to know more about the woman who had been punched yet stood her ground with calm authority. Within hours, she became a symbol of courage, leadership, and unshakable confidence. Her first public action as the new police chief was unexpected but deliberate. Instead of condemning the officer immediately in a public statement, she called for an internal review and personally visited the injured officer to understand the situation. Many wondered why she didn't lash out. She later explained that leadership is not about punishing people immediately. It's about creating a system that prevents mistakes from happening in the first place. Her approach shocked some, but impressed many more. The officer who had thrown the punch was placed on administrative leave pending investigation. But what truly captured the city's attention was how she handled it. Instead of fueling anger, she used the incident as a teaching moment for the entire department. She held a citywide press conference, calmly stating, "This is a reminder that authority must always be exercised with respect, control, and responsibility. We are here to serve the public, not to harm it. I will lead with accountability, fairness, and transparency, and I expect the same from everyone in this department." Her words resonated with people across the city. Communities that had long been skeptical of law enforcement began reaching out, offering support and expressing hope that change was finally coming. Within days, petitions circulated calling for department reforms and community policing initiatives, all under her leadership. Even within the police department, her rise to power inspired a wave of respect and cooperation. Officers who had doubted her abilities now recognized her calm authority and clear vision. She began organizing workshops on conflict resolution, anger management, and public engagement, turning what could have been a scandalous incident into a powerful leadership lesson. Behind the scenes, her journey to the top was no accident. She had spent decades climbing the ranks quietly, earning degrees in criminal justice and public administration, volunteering in underprivileged neighborhoods, and mentoring young officers. She understood that authority is not just about rank. It's about earning respect and building trust. And on that day, when the punch landed, her training, experience, and composure all came together in a single, unforgettable moment. The city slowly began to change. Crime rates started to stabilize, community trust in law enforcement improved, and public programs focused on youth and education received more attention. Her leadership became a case study in police departments across the country. Experts praised her for turning a potentially explosive incident into a moment that defined her legacy. What people will remember most, though, isn't just her calm reaction to being punched. It's the way she transformed a shocking, violent moment into an example of strength, dignity, and leadership. She showed the world that real power doesn't come from fists or fear. It comes from composure, intelligence, and integrity. Months later, the video of the punch remained viral. But it wasn't just a clip of violence anymore. It became a symbol of resilience. Schools showed it to students as a lesson in handling conflict, news outlets used it to discuss leadership, and social media kept the story alive with daily reminders of courage under pressure. The woman herself continued to work tirelessly. She didn't seek fame or accolades, but her presence alone inspired change. Her office became a hub for reforms, mentorship programs, and community engagement initiatives. And while the incident on the street could have defined her negatively, she turned it into the moment that announced her authority and vision to the world. Even years later, people would recount the story in awe. The day a police officer punched a black woman in the face, and minutes later, she declared, calmly and firmly, that she was the new police chief. It became a story not just of an unexpected rise to power, but of what true leadership looks like under pressure: calm, decisive, and unshakable. In the end, the punch didn't break her, it showcased her. It revealed a leader capable of transforming a moment of violence into a lesson for an entire city. And that city, once skeptical, now looked at her with admiration, trust, and hope. Her story continues to inspire leaders everywhere. It reminds people that real authority isn't given, it's earned, proven through action, and tested in moments that reveal character. And sometimes, it takes just a single moment of courage to change the course of a city, a community, and history itself.